and welcome back. Emily Jean if you're new here, and today we're doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. Okay, so I actually just celebrated 1 year on Booktube and I realized I never did the Booktube Newbie Tag. So what better time than 1 year after I started? I still feel like a newbie in a lot of ways. I'll link in the description box the original creator and the questions. I'm sure you guys have seen this sort of video before, but let's get into it. 1. Why did you start this channel? So I started this channel because I needed something different, something creative, a little outlet to do. I just felt like I was missing that creative piece in my life. And also I wasn't prioritizing reading as much. And I love reading. Things had gotten a little busy. I have a toddler at home and I thought this would be a great way to just reconnect to reading, get creative with the filming and content creation process, and yeah, I think that's it. I wanted something different to do. And I'm happy to say that it definitely has encouraged me to read a lot more. I've been enjoying my reading again. I've been making time for it. It's been so amazing to meet so many people in the booktube community, and it's definitely given me that creative experience and outlet again. So if it has achieved why I started it. And it's interesting because if you ask me now why I'm going to continue it, I want to find more ways to make enjoyable content for you guys. I know sometimes when we chat about books, it can seem like it's all about our experience, but I want to create a cozy place for you to come to and feel good hanging out, and just you can breathe for a moment, because I know life is so stressful. So I'm looking more this year how to create a channel that feels like a safe place where you can just come and relax. So hopefully I can create that for you guys this year. That's definitely one of the reasons that I am continuing this channel as well. 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Well, I think there's so many fun and unique people on BookTube. I would say maybe I'm a little bit older. I'm 37, 36. Oh, I never remember how old I am. It's awful. And I've read a lot of books that I don't hear people talking about on BookTube or Book Talk. So I feel like the more I talk about some of my older favorite series, the more that I can kind of maybe share some of those with other people. Like Christopher Moore is one of my most favorite authors, and I never hear anybody talk about him. So I think something unique I could bring is just different books and series that I've read over the years that maybe have been forgotten about because they're older, published, or people just are focusing more on the new releases. So that could be something new and different that I could bring. Yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, question 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? So I'm definitely so excited just to continue to find out about new books, new genres that I'm doing, to continue to create different and interesting content, to let that creativity flow. I'm really excited to just dig deeper into the reading world and continue to prioritize my reading and the reading of others, because I think it's such a powerful outlet to have. Question 4. Why do you love reading? Why do I love reading? Why? Because it makes me feel things that my day-to-day doesn't always make me feel, or because you get to experience different worlds. I feel like this is all so cliche, but it is an escape from day-to-day life. And when I was little, I was so shy, so reserved. I was so scared of new experiences. If I didn't know what the rules or expectations were, I probably wouldn't have tried that thing. I've grown a lot and done a lot of work to love the unknown and appreciate those new experiences. But one way that I kind of learned what the rules were, how the world worked, was through reading, seeing how other people experience experience things. Even fictional characters, you learn so much just about the human experience, and it was fun. It's fun to hang out with dragons and be in magical worlds and travel through space. You get to do all of those things, and it's just a huge gift. I think what it does for me too is quiets my mind, quiets my nervous system, allows me to just calm down. I mean, maybe except when you're reading No Exit. Some thrillers don't necessarily calm down your emotional system, but it's fun. Why do I read? Because it's fun. Because it's fun, and it's something I've always done, and I want to continue doing it. 5. What book or series got you into reading? Oh my God. Oh, I mean, there's this picture of me from when I was little. I'll insert it here if I can find it. Like, so young, just picking up one of my mom's books. I think I was just always drawn to books and what they held and what they were. So I can't remember some of those younger ones. I'm sure my mom reading aloud to me, like reading some of those younger kid books got them into continued that love of reading and learning. But the first like series I can remember, Babysitter's Club, Goosebumps, Boxcar Children, loved that series. Like, I still have experiences of reading Boxcar Children as if it happened to me, like feeling like I was in the boxcar, and that experience of like being out on your own. Flowers in the Attic, like, what? I think I read that at like 11 or 12, and like now thinking back on it, I'm like, that was pretty intense for a little kid. There were just so many times. I mean, after middle school, I would walk right to the library. Our young adult room at the library had a loft space. I would sit up there and just devour all sorts of books. So those are the ones, the youngest age series that I can remember really getting me into reading. 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? How many hours a day do you read? I'm so curious. Some of my favorite booktubers read like 150 books a year, and I'm so curious about the hours. Everybody talks about the number of books that they read, but not many people talk about the hours that they read. So I started last year recommitting to reading by just reading before I went to bed, not paying attention to the number of hours. And I really upped my reading just by the simple practice of picking up a book at night. And sometimes it would be 5 minutes, 15 minutes. And then this year I've been really focused on reading an hour before bed. And oh my God, I read the most books I've ever read in 1 month in January. So I'm just so curious. How many hours a week do you read? How much time do you devote to reading? Are you spending like your whole week in reading? I'm so curious. I want to hear more about the hours you guys spend reading. So let me know in the comments below how many hours you typically spend reading. Question 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Oh my God. Editing, audio. I use Windows Photos for my editing, like the most simple basic program. You can't do overlays, you can't, like, there's a lot you can't do, but I've tried new ones and they're so intimidating. I know I gotta just bite the bullet and practice learning. But for me, the most intimidating is editing, audio, and creating, especially going into the second year, like new and interesting content. I want to do new stuff, and being creative with that can be kind of challenging as well. Question 8, when did you start reading? I can't remember when I didn't read, so 5, 6, I don't know. I have this memory of like one of our neighborhood friends coming to teach me how to read, and I'll have to ask my mom, but I must have been like 4 or 5, I don't know, but young. Very young. Question number 9, where do you read? Mostly in bed these days. Before bed is definitely my reading time. I've got a comfy chair downstairs where I like to sit and read before bed too, if I haven't gone up into the actual bed. So definitely at home though. I used to love to read in coffee shops, Borders, was like my go-to spot in college and after college. And now I definitely miss reading in bookstores, getting something from the cafe and just sitting down and the hustle bustle and people watching. I miss that a lot. Sometimes I'll put on an ambient coffee shop video to kind of get that feeling, but I definitely I miss that experience. 10. What kind of books do you like to read? So I love fantasy, science fiction. I'm learning that I really love thrillers. I love humor writing. I love a little bit of nonfiction. I'm getting so much into astrophysics and space and that kind of nonfiction. I'm so curious about how the world works in that like matter level. So I've been getting into that, and I'm also learning that there are a lot of other genres I haven't explored that I probably actually will like. So I'm opening myself up to other genres, but my go-tos are definitely fantasy, sci-fi, and thrillers right now. And 11, what does your book collection look like? So I used to have like 40 boxes of books that I moved from apartment to apartment to apartment. And then finally, a few years ago, I was doing the Marie Kondo life-changing magic of tidying up, which was so life-changing, honestly. It was incredible. I would definitely recommend that if you're looking to declutter or just like clear up space in your house. And I got rid of 90% of my books. All that I had left was my Christopher Moore, Toni Morrison, Elizabeth Berg collection, and childhood favorites, and a few spiritual books, I think. And it felt so good. I gave it to people who needed books. I donated them. I gave them to the neighborhood kids. Like, it just felt so good to release them, because what I'd realized was I was building my library with no discretion. I would pick up free boxes on the side of the road. I would go to our dollar book haul that the library did, $1 a bag, and just fill it up with all these books, and either never end up reading them, or they weren't favorites, but I just kept them because I wanted that idea of a library with the swinging ladder. But the truth was, in the size of the apartments that we had, it was just cumbersome. It was extra weight, had to move it, just collected dust, and they weren't books that I was truly super happy and excited about. So I got rid of those, and now this is my book collection. I have one 6-tiered bookshelf here, one 4-tiered bookshelf here, and then my son's, I'm not going to count those. We've got a ton of books for him. And then one more bookshelf across from me that's 3-tiered with like my spiritual workbooks, books for work. And you know what? Everything on this shelf I absolutely love and adore. I have the most visceral, positive experience when I look at these books, or they're books that are TBR that I'm going to read, or DNF or unhaul. So everything that I'm keeping that I've already read is something that elicits a positive emotion. And if it doesn't elicit a positive emotion, a good experience, like one of those favorite book experiences, like instantly transported back into that world just by looking at the cover. If it's not that sort of feeling, it's out. It's going to the little free library, it's getting donated, it's going to a friend who might enjoy it. So mostly just 5-star books I'm keeping, some 4 stars if they elicit that response as well. So the way that I read new books now, I consume mostly library books or ebooks, and then if I really loved the library book, I'll buy a copy for myself. So that is my book collection these days, and we'll see how it grows and changes over time, but it works perfectly for me. Okay, that was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. That is my Booktube Newbie Tag 1 year later. Thank you so much for hanging out, and hopefully I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye guys.